Ugh. There's a glitch in the matrix. Fucking. Can I shake it out? You know when your shaft and your balls, they're just. Your shit's just not aligned right. Your shit's all up in a jangle, and the whole world is wrong. That's what I'm going through right now, and I can't get it fucking worked out. Goddamn. I can't do it. I'm pulling over. Fixing this problem. Alright, I fixed it. All is right in the world again. Shit's hanging out, it's supposed to. We're in business. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another 2-clutch video. So I've been getting some questions in the old comment section. It would seem that some of my subscribblers out there are just getting into bikes. And they want to know more about this beautiful beast that is the Yamaha R3. I understand. When I was looking for the bike, there wasn't too much information out about it, so I'll lend you my knowledge. This is gonna be the things I love and hate about the Yamaha R3. So, first things first, I really enjoy this bike a lot. I don't really have too much to compare it to. It's my first street bike, first motorcycle at all, really. And I like it a lot. I think it's really good. I might be a little bit biased because it's my first bike / only bike. But listen to my reasons why. And it's not all great. I mean, there are some negatives to it. It's not perfect, but let's get into it. So I'm gonna start out with the things that I love about the bike, that I really like, and these are gonna be like pros to buying it, pros to owning it. Number one, overall the style is great. I think it looks better than the Ninja 300, the KTM RC 390, the CBR 300 for sure. Any of the other bikes in the same class, I think the R3 is the best looking one, which played a part in me buying it for sure. I think it looks great. The engine and transmission are amazing. This bike is buttery smooth. Fucking imported illegal Chinese silk smooth. It's really, really smooth. I mean, you can just, between the gears, it's like nothing. You almost have to double check that you even shift it up or down because the gearbox is just so good. And you can check if you shift it up or down because the bike has a gear indicator, which is really nice for new riders. It came in handy a ton when I was learning how to ride because you're just kind of, shifting up and down as you feel it necessary, and you're never, or it can be hard to realize what gear you're actually in. So the gear indicator's awesome. The whole gauge cluster really is good. I like it more than the Ninja 300. I like the big analog tach and then the digital speedo. It gives you all the information you need, like right there, and it's so clear and so easy. So the gauge cluster is really good. The bike is just easy to learn on. The throttle response is good, but not like, it's not twitchy. It's precise, is what I would say. There's not a lot of play in it or anything. I mean, it's a good throttle. and it's easy to manage. The power curve of the bike is fairly linear once you get up about 7,000 RPM. You hit a little bit of a power band, but for the most part your power's pretty even, which makes it nice to learn on, makes it easier to ride. And it's comfortable. I stand about 6'1". I'm pretty thin, but I got long legs. I got 34-inch inseam, and the bike isn't cramped for me at all. The bars are positioned up a little bit, so it keeps pressure off your back and wrists. I've ridden this bike for 3 hours straight one time, like 2.5 to 3 hours, and I could have done 2.5 more. I mean, my back was fine, wrists were fine. The seat's not terrible, and they make aftermarket ones if you don't like it. It's fine for me. So those are the things that I love about the bike. There are some things that I hate about the bike. Thankfully, most of them can be changed pretty easy. I know I said the styling is good, but certain parts of the styling really suck. The stock fender is fucking awful. Might be the worst stock fender in all of motorcycling. It's atrocious. It's huge, just straight up black destroyer coming off the back of your bike. Number 2 are the flippity floppity bullshit front turn signals. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see this shit? It's awful. It sticks off the bike like 6 inches. They look just really bad. They are functional, I'll give them that. They just look awful. They look really bad. I actually have a flush mount turn signal kit by TST Industries ordered. It's on the way. So I'm going to be getting rid of those. The gauge cluster is great. Up here is a shift light. It comes on, I guess, when you're supposed to shift. But it's just a bright white flashing light. And it's bing, 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 bing. And it's really annoying. From the factory, it's set really low. Like 6,500 RPM or something. So it's just constantly flashing at you all the time, and it's really annoying. But you can pretty easily just set it to blink at a higher RPM. I have mine at like 12,000, which is just below the red line. So mine's not really a shift light. It's like a engine's about to blow up light now, because I just hated it blinking. What else don't I like? I don't like the brakes so much. I think they could be better. I'm going to experiment with stainless steel braided brake lines. That I'm told that makes it a lot better. It's possible that could work. But the stock brakes are pretty, I mean, they're decent, but I just think they could be a lot better. You kind of got to get yourself a pretty good handful to have any real stopping power. But I mean, I guess it is just like it's a single disc up front, so what are you gonna do? The mirrors are not very good. That's kind of standard on all Spark bikes. If you have a decently sized frame at all, you might have to look around yourself a little bit when you're in the mirror, when you're looking in the mirrors. You're gonna see a lot of shoulders and elbows, but they're manageable for sure. Just could be better, and they sell extenders too, but I think they look stupid. So a lot of people hate the stock exhaust and think the bike sounds really sounds kind of weak and not how they want it to sound out of the factory, but that's to be expected. I mean, no bikes, or very few bikes, sound great out of the factory, especially low displacement like this. I don't mind it so much. I just don't think it's worth investing like $400 or $500 into an exhaust for this bike particularly. Some people absolutely hate the exhaust, so that's something to consider. Stock grips are bad. They're really hard and kind of wear out pretty like weird. I don't know. They're just like plasticky instead of rubbery, if that makes sense. And they're not very good. They're pretty bad. Mine haven't worn out completely yet, so I haven't bothered changing them. Stock tires are miserable. The IRC Road Winners, get rid of those as soon as you can. Like if you plan on keeping the bike for a long time, change the fucking tires. Get yourself some Pirellis, or Michelin makes a set for this bike that are good. Get something else, especially if you're doing like spirited riding and the twisties and everything. These IRC Road Winners are bad. They're a really hard tire. They just don't have a lot of grip, like especially in the weather, like rain. These tires are bad. If you're only gonna keep the bike for a year or two, or like, you know, a riding season or whatever, and then you're gonna upgrade, I mean, maybe you can make them work. But if it's gonna be a long-term bike, or you're riding it like kind of hardcore, I would look into new tires. Stock ones are bad. I think that wraps up the things I love and hate about the bike. Overall, fucking awesome. Really good. I recommend it. Yamaha R3, 10 out of 10. Would recommend to a friend. Or a subscriber. You're my friends, you know. So, if you were curious about the bike, there's little input, things that are good and bad about it. Mostly good. I mean, the things that are bad are pretty easily remedied. Oh, look at the doggies. So, I don't know. I liked it more than the Ninja 300, which was why I bought it. It's got a lot of really good features. Not too many bad features that you can't live without or can't change. So, go out and buy one. They're good. Until next time, I've been 2Clutch. Comment below if you have any more questions. I love you.